So you see all these people online saying stuff like, "Oh, why I stopped listening to music again? I stopped listening to music, blah blah." And I actually did the same as well. I stopped listening to music for like a year or like 9 months straight or something like that, right? Now I actually started listening to music again. And the thing is, probably people right now go crazy, say like, "Oh, he's listening, he's coping, blah blah." Nah, bro, because I actually thought about this shit, right? I actually deeply thought about this shit. Um, One side of me still says like, "Yeah, you're coping," but the other side of me says that it's not cope. And I want to explain to you kind of why in this video, because what I realized is that some like certain music it's still fucked up for you. Like, of course I'm not going to listen to music of like rappers telling people how they stabbed people to death or something like that. I don't really I'm not really interested in that shit. But also I'm not really listening to rappers that say like, "Oh yeah, I fucked all these women," because again, I think that could still fuck up your mind a little bit, like your subconscious mind a little bit. Even though I don't think it's like as as much as people think it does. I still like, I don't really like that shit. Now, what I do listen to is rap music where they just talk about making money and setting your parents safe and all that stuff, right? And I actually think that's very good to listen to. Because what I realized after listening, I think I'm listening to music for like 2 3 weeks again right now. And what I realized is that actually my desire to make more money increases because I see all these people say like, "Oh yeah, I just made like one million this month, and I'm going to all these like restaurants and all that stuff." And in the back of my mind, I'm thinking like, "Fuck, bro, he's going to all these like sick restaurants. He's doing this. He is living the life. So I want the same lifestyle as well." And that fucks with your subconscious mind because now I'm like, "Oh fuck, I actually want this lifestyle as well. I want this lifestyle as well." So what is my subconscious mind going to do? He's going to do everything to give me that lifestyle. Do you understand? So people always say like, "Oh, listening to music it's bad and all that stuff." I think it depends on what music you're listening to. So also I'm not going to listen to like people like Harry Styles or stuff like that, like, "Oh, watermelon sugar." Like, I I'm not interested in watermelon sugar. I'm not interested in rappers telling me how many girls they fuck. I'm not interested in rappers telling me how they shank people to death. But I'm interested in making money. Um, yeah, man. I don't know. I just There's also this thing that says that music stimulates your brain. When you listen to music, your brain will be more stimulated, so you'll be thinking like more. I don't know how the exact science behind it or stuff like that. It's more bro science, I think, but. Yeah, man. People say it's the same with alcohol, so that it doesn't mean like when it stimulates your brain that it's good for you, because it's probably the same with video games and all that stuff. So, yeah, man, that's not really an argument in my head, but still, it's something to think about. Now, the only problem I have when listening to music is that I think I think it takes away a little bit of your presence. So what I'm doing is I'm not listening to music when I'm riding around with my bike or stuff like that, because first of all, I just want to be aware of my surroundings. I don't know the people around me. I don't know what their intentions are. I want to be aware of my surroundings. If I have my AirPods in or stuff like that, I don't I don't know what people's plans are. I just want to know. I want to hear my shit. Imagine like it's like imagine you take away your senses, right? Like why would you do that? So I'm not doing that outside, but it's more like inside. It still takes away a little bit of your presence. So that's a consideration you need to make. That's something that I don't know if that's like worth it or it's not worth it. But right now I've actually experimented with listening to music, and to be honest, bro, like I don't really see a big change in my work output. So I can still remember making this video of saying like, I why I stopped watching YouTube whilst I'm eating, or why you should stop watching YouTube whilst you're eating, something like that. And in that video, I actually said like, when I stopped watching YouTube whilst I was eating, I noticed my work output, it went up like crazy. And when I started watching YouTube whilst I was eating again, my work output went way lower. So I'm not doing that anymore. But the thing is, I don't experience the same thing with music, with listening to music. So that's a little bit, you could call it weird, but I don't mind, bro. That's the thing. I don't mind. So the other thing is though, like it's still, when I got people around me, I still like wanna remain present with them as well, because I think that's what they deserve, right? So that's, I'm not going to listen to music there, but yeah, man, when I'm like alone, I'm cooking my meals or stuff like that, I'm down to listen to music of people telling me how they make money, they live their lifestyle, all that stuff. Now, yeah, man, you could say you could also listen to podcasts, but I think that the difference between music, a YouTube video, or a podcast is actually that when I'm listening to a podcast, I try and absorb the information consciously. I'm trying to remember all the information. I'm taking notes and all that stuff. So I'm actively focused on that in my mind. But I think the difference with music is that I'm not trying to absorb the information. I'm just trying to increase my desire for making money, basically. So yeah, man, I don't know. I'm curious to know what you actually think of this. I'm curious to know like what your thoughts are on this, because I'm not really sure if this is like, sometimes it just feels like I'm coping a little bit, because I believe music still boosts up your dopamine, and I'm not really working for it. So yeah, man, sometimes I just think it's a little bit cope. Other times I just think like, nah, but it's increasing my desire to actually do that shit. Yeah, man, I actually saw like big increasement in my desire, and I didn't saw a drop in my work rate. So I don't know. Like, let me know what you think of it. Let me know if you think I'm just coping or not. But that's it for this video. I'll see you in the next one. Like, subscribe, do all the YouTube stuff, and that's it.